Hi, my name is Brad Rourke. I'm Happy New Year, and I'm the president and CEO of Scottie Resources. We're an exploration company in Northwest British Columbia known as the Golden Triangle, and a lot of exciting things to speak about.
You have. Good to see you again, Brad, and Happy New Year to you. And it's getting a bit late to say that, but I think we'll just about get away with it. We're going to talk today about 2024, some of the options in front of you. You're going to also reintroduce the story to the market, and for people who've not heard this story before. But first, you put out a press release this morning. That seems super exciting. Tell us about it.
Yeah, a lot of the releases at the beginning of the season or the last few months have all been blueberry contact zone focused. This is a little bit different. This is in our C and D veins. They are related, but we still have more drilling to really, so we can tell you. But I mean, it's more of a classic Scottie Gold mine, hosted in andesite. We had following up on a nice hit from last year, and we hit a very nice intercept, 36 grams over 5 meters, maybe a little bit more than that, but nice step out. And what's really interesting is we found that C and D zone through mapping in the tunnel, which was just an access tunnel to get to Scottie. And so we kind of recognized this a few years ago, and so it's been a slow burn at C and D, but again, when you look at these intercepts, they're starting to all work together. It really gets us excited, and just something different than that blueberry contact zone, but equally as impressive. And, eventually when we get enough drilling, we'll be able to tie all of it in, and we have our theories of how they're related, but it's still early days. We don't want to say something and it'd be something else, so we just kind of stick to what we know, but very exciting for sure, really accessible, close to other, nice big step out. So a very exciting hole for us from a technical point of view and an economic point of view as well.
For sure. Look, and by the way, apologies everyone. If you can hear something buzzing in the background, it's not me drilling for copper. It's some work being done on the building elsewhere. So tell me about how you play this year. Okay, so that's a super way to start the year. 36.3 meters over 5. I say 36.3 grams per ton over 5 minutes. That's a nice start to the year. But it's kind of not too different from some of the headlines you've been putting out for the last couple of years. But it's not just gelling. People aren't kind of getting it. What do you think they're wanting to see from you? And are you going to be able to deliver whatever that is?
That's a tough question, Matthew. As easy as it sounds. What are people looking for? I think, you certainly have a discovery. That's what we've all dream of, and why you get into the mud and dirt and do what we've done. And, and we just happen to find a deposit at a time when nobody cares. And we're, everybody, if we've been an investor in this industry for a while, like I have, it just doesn't make sense. So what does 2024 look like? We have to focus on things that are positive, and the things that don't make sense, we keep working that problem and that sentiment in the market. Gold's at 2,000, all the things that we've been talking about for the last 5 years kind of come to fruition of what we were hoping to happen, and here we are today. 2024, I think, for Scottie, so we have optionality now. Now we've done 60,000 meters of drilling in total over the last 5 years. Not a whole bunch, but a respectable amount. And we are in a position now that if we decide so, I could drill off a resource. Now, we would never do a resource unless we could do 1 million ounces. And we've always said that. You've been speaking to me for years. In fact, even 12 months ago, I would have said, we just want to show a pathway to 1 million high-grade ounces. I'm in the position today for 2024 that we got an exercise working with independent consultants right now to give me an idea how many meters is that going to take to drill off 1 million ounces. And they'll be the easiest ounces to get to economically and that sort of stuff. And, mostly 3/4 of that million would be at the blueberry contact zone. And we're targeting, how I'm supposed to say things, pretty easy for us to target a 250,000 ounces at Scottie, just how it sits. Just because of the past drill database, or 700 drill holes, we've drilled it enough, just a couple confirmation holes. So we're in the position that we could drill a resource. We haven't made that decision yet. I mean, money's a big factor on what one can do. So those are the things that we will be answering in the next 3-4 weeks. Do we keep expanding? Or do we give the people that drill off at least 1 million ounces? I'm comfortable now in saying, we're targeting 2 million ounces, and I can articulate where I think those 2 million ounces are and why I come up with that number. Like, it's a solid thumb suck. It's a solid arm wave. It's not a dream. If someone's willing to sit down and go through the technicals with us, I don't think anyone's going to disagree. And then, we're very happy. One of the things that happened in 2024 is Agentis starting to write about Scottie. That's a big win for us. We're flattered because of, Michael Grays carries a lot of respect in this industry. And it took him 2 site visits to come up to Scottie. But here we are today. And, what I've noticed, he put a note out on us last week, and it might not be retail investors that are picking up on that stuff, but certainly, the phone is rang and people are interested, and we're setting up meetings and signing CAs and stuff. So that's exciting for us. We're in no duress. Money's tight, but we don't owe money to anybody. And so we're, the next few weeks is going to be very interesting to what we do in 2024. I suspect we will do 20,000 meters in 2024, which I have targeting for well over 50,000. That will be due to economics. Now, whether I drill off a resource or expand, that's yet for us to decide. And once we get these reports back from this independent consultant, tells us how many meters, where we could drill, maybe we decide to drill off 1 million, put that in the bank and go, okay, there's your 1 million, and then keep expanding. But those are big decisions, and I suppose we're lucky to have those decisions to make, and we'll make those here by the end of the month.
It's kind of interesting when you're talking about the optionality you've got on the table, which is great, right? So money's tight, but I say you're not beholden to anyone. Are you obliged to drill a certain amount per year? I mean, are you 100% owners? There's no sort of options in this thing, are there?
No, totally unencumbered, no
Fantastic.
royalties, no streams.
No pressure.
Although I do have my board's pretty harsh.
Yeah,
we're all different, right?
That's the job.
I'm owned by my board, and if you know who John Williamson is and Ernie, and it's a pretty active board, but yeah, no, we have optionality of which we do. There's no JV and such. So
see, that's the kind of interesting thing here. I bet if you look back at 2023, you saw all sorts of decision making around strategy. Some people are like, we're going to hold firm and we're going to carry on as we were. We may have to rein it in a bit in terms of the cash allocation, etc. But we're going to carry on with the strategy. Others are saying, well, we need to. This isn't a case of drill. This is a case of let's get a resource out and kind of show what the economics, could be, and maybe it might be attractive to someone else. You're surrounded by the likes of well, a lot of Newmont properties there for sure, but the Dolly Vards and the Seabridge and the Skenas and Tech, etc. are all around you. These are big plays, big players with big assets. Are you tempted to say, look, just for the sake of speeding this thing up, let's get some kind of JV thing going, let's use someone else's balance sheet? Were you happy to play the waiting game?
Well, it all depends on the deal, Matthew. We are lucky that we have a lot of large shareholders. I mean, we used to be 100% retail, but I do have 4 individuals that own just under 10%, and there's a whole, 6, 7, 8 guys that all own anywhere from 2 to 4% of the company, so it's easy for me to get a gauge on what does my market want me to do. I think we still have some news to put out that we haven't completed. We'll probably have a couple more news releases to come out just to make sure people know that we're alive, and we'll make those decisions. What I can say is it's frustrating. All of us in this industry are frustrated, but I don't get any bad phone calls. Oh, you should have done this, that, the other. Actually, very opposite. Nobody's writing checks, but they are quite supportive and recognize the success that we've had and how well managed the money has been. We only ever raise these small amounts, $5, $6, $7 million, and we come up with 20,000 meter drill programs. So our shareholders are happy, knock on wood, because what I get scared of is just getting old like stale bread. We just every year we come out, we're like, okay, here it is. Keeping my team employed. There's a whole bunch of things. My team motivated because again, we keep we're thinking, wow, look at today's intercept, right? 188 gram meters or 181 gram meters or something like that. No reaction. I haven't looked at the market, but, I suspect nothing's happened. And, and just try and keep everybody motivated and go, look, it's going to happen. I mean, and you mentioned these other players in the area, the Newmonts and the Skenas, but let's not forget, Ascot starts pouring gold in the next 3 months. And we're really happy for Derek and his team there. And then we're excited to finally get that moving. It's been a challenge for him as well. So there's a lot of activity going on in the area. And we just, it'll all depend on whose money comes in next for what we do. And do we feel that they'll ride the train with us because it's going to be a transaction. This is, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but there is an economic deposit sitting at Blueberry, sandwiched between two mills, very high grade. We've done the metallurgy. There are no royalties. There's just so many attributes. And, I'm drilling holes for $315 a meter all in. That's with the geophysics and the toilet paper. And, that just means that more holes, we're having success. This thing keeps getting bigger. If Newmont paid $400 million for GT Gold and Scottie has a $50 million market cap, just sit and think about that for 15 minutes as an investor, right? Those rocks at Blueberry can turn into dollar bills in the near future. What does near future mean? 3-5 years? Sure, technically possible. We got a permit, blah, blah, blah. They pay $400 million for an asset that won't turn rocks into dollars for 25 years. So, and it's a good deposit, and I love everything that Newmont's done, but I just go, this is being overlooked. You can drive to it. There's power. There's a mine permit. There's, we just kind of check every box that one would want to see. And we haven't done anything crazy, and we haven't, we dilute, but people have to understand it's the same people putting the money in. So it just means everyone's maintaining their positions for the most part. And, we're happy to wait. They're, what are they going to pay for an ounce of gold in the ground at Scottie? And so you just look at steeply dipping on surface, very high grade, metallurgically compatible with both mills on either side of us. You can easily see a better than a $50 million market cap than what we have. Or I certainly haven't lost any enthusiasm there, and I'm not blinking and I'm not giving up. Yeah.
But good, because quite frankly, you're one of our picks, right? This is not a paid interview or anything. It's just, we want to speak to you. We think it's one of the better stories out there. And I think if gold does do, and there's a bit of conversation I do want to have with you, I think you guys will do well. But, I think general consensus of it is that gold moves this year, by the end of the year, towards 2.5, right? Who knows? But I can't really work out what the gold market is doing at the moment. I don't know about you, and I don't know what, the guys over at Agentis are saying to you. What's your expectation around gold? Not necessarily around price, because that's a hard one to call, but is it going to do you any favors? Are people going to come back to gold this year, or investors still just, risk off?
Yeah, whatever I say, probably going to be wrong, because if you would ask me that last year, I really, other guys are pulling back. We did 20,000 meters. I thought 2023 was going to be the year, and so I was not right. But let's look into the future, because that's what we do. And, not only Scottie, but I've been, in the stock market for 30 years. I'm always trying to predict the future. Let's look at the facts. Gold's over 2,000. This is what we all dreamt of. The equities haven't moved to it, but we have hit that 2,000 psychological mark. I don't see that. I see that holding in quite well and moving on beyond. I'm not, $4,000 gold anytime soon. But what I look at is fear in the market is going to move gold, right? And because people have to understand, it's not a financial product. Yes, it's a financial product, but it's an insurance product. That's what gold is. You don't buy gold to get rich. You buy gold to stay rich. Market, if you look at the S&P and you look at things going, it defies logic. I don't understand how people can still be moving money the way they are into the broader markets. But what I see here is you look at 2024 is a very interesting year when I look at commercial real estate, vacancies and resetting mortgages in 2024. It's scary, right? I do follow real estate quite closely and have played in that game quite a bit. That scares me. But that when fear hits that, and when fear hits the market, people move to commodities, or that's the theory, and I still believe it. And so 2024, I think, people start going, okay, let's not try and make money. Let's try and protect our money. Let's ring fence our assets. And the best way to do that is, in my opinion, is gold. Because when things get irrational, I was there for the dot-com bust. I was there in 08, and I know what irrational looks like, and somehow I waded through that successfully. My timing's been wrong, but I just focus on it. For the gold market. All I focus on, so much noise, is I look at central bank buying, and outside of the G7, G20, and it's like never been before. And eventually, those central banks will want to price that gold so their balance sheets are healthy. And so I think gold is got a lot more room here. Whether the price goes up or not, the price is fine, right? At $2,000 gold, I mean, these are businesses. Take that rock, crush it up, what's your all-in sustaining cost, different, it's different everywhere. But at $2,000 gold, you can make money. I mean, I own Barrick. I mean, I look at these companies, and I've never seen such good free cash flow. And it's shocking, whether it's energy or mining, that equities haven't followed, but they're sound businesses. And so eventually the truth always, cream rises to the top, the truth will always reveal itself. So it's going to happen. And then the next thing I'll do is people go, oh, I missed it. Say Scottie goes from 20 cents to 30 cents. They just don't understand. Gold is here to stay. I see that because of the central bank buying outside of the G7. And that's what I bank on. And so just keep my head down, try not to color outside the lines, and eventually we'll be right.
I think we will. Brad, appreciate you making the time now. I know you're busy. Like I say, one of our picks for this year. So good luck to you. Stay in touch. Let us know how you get on. Okay.
Right on, Matthew. Always good to see you. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon. I mean, conference season's starting here pretty quick. So awesome.